Juzo Ogami is a legend. Perfect kill record. Works for a shadow organization called ZOO. Tonight's job should be a walk in the park, one guard. Easy in, easy out. He destroys the security camera, swipes an ID card, and strolls inside, cigarette dangling from his lips, hand already fishing for a lighter. What he finds instead is a room full of very dangerous men. The men freeze. Who the hell is this guy? One of them shoves a gun in Ogami's face, demanding answers. Ogami doesn't even flinch. He just asks the man for a lighter. The criminal's response is unwise. Ogami takes the gun and the lights go out. Seconds later, 25 men are down. One smart criminal grabs a briefcase and bolts, only to find Ogami already waiting at the end of the corridor. Calm as ever, gun pointed, chamber empty. The criminal makes a run for it. Ogami catches him effortlessly, puts him down with one brutal gut punch, and walks out with the briefcase. Outside, his informant Kotatsu Nakota is equal parts thrilled and terrified. You took down 25 guys? Ogami's not impressed. He's furious. There was supposed to be one guard. Kotatsu sheepishly opens the briefcase. Inside a glass jar with a wasp nest in it, they stare at it. Neither of them understands. Neither of them cares. They go get ramen. Later, back at Ogami's sleek apartment, a wasp is loose. It zeroes in on Ogami's neck and stings him before he can react. He kills it instantly. Too late. His chest seizes. He hits the floor like a sack of bricks. Ogami wakes up in a white lab. His voice is wrong. His body is wrong. His face is wrong. His ex-wife Iri Wanabuchi, chief of ZOO's science division, stands over him, running checks. She asks him to state his name and identify her. He does. Sharp as ever, his mind is intact. His body, however, belongs to a teenage boy. The wasp venom came from a genetic research firm, the same criminals he'd just dismantled. One tiny sting, and 39 years of weathered assassin is gone. In its place, puberty. Ogami stares at his reflection. Nearly has a second heart attack. There's no cure yet. Eri's working on it. Until then, Ogami is stuck. He can't sit still. Bills, child support, adult responsibilities don't care about your age regression. Then, the boss calls with a proposition. Enroll in a private middle school, investigate its operations, protect the boss's daughter, payment enormous. Ogami almost says no. Then he hears the number. The next morning, Kotatsu outfits him with spy glasses and an earpiece and sends him off to school in a uniform that makes him want to die. He walks in muttering, "Why did I say yes to this?" The first class, introductions. Ogami stands in front of 30 12-year-olds. Dead silence. He says his hobby is sniping. The classroom does not recover. Kotatsu screams in his ear to fix it. Ogami turns back around, tries again, and digs himself deeper. He's immediately labeled the class's resident weirdo. And the label sticks. After school, two mean girls, Takata and Baba, bump into him on purpose and walk off laughing. Kotatsu suggests removing them. Ogami declines. He's a professional. Back home, Kotatsu has moved himself in and is cooking dinner. He's also completely reversed roles. Now the one lecturing Ogami about behavior, grades, and not getting expelled. Ogami silently suffers through it. The next day in class, Ogami could not care less about the curriculum. He's a trained assassin who has lived a full adult life. Middle school math is beneath him. Then the teacher writes equations on the board. Something clicks. Ogami leans forward. He starts actually paying attention. By the end of the day, he is the last student in the room, and he's crying happy tears, overwhelmed by the sheer joy of learning for the first time without the pressure of killing anyone. Kotatsu finds him studying voluntarily at midnight. He stares for a long time. This is the strangest mission we've ever been on. During a routine school day, chaos erupts. A masked man in a panda costume bursts onto school grounds, terrorizing students in nothing but his underwear. The mean girls, being idiots, film it until the panda corners them. Kotatsu? Let them suffer. They were horrible to you. Ogami? No, he's a grown man. He can't just leave them. He grabs chalk, fires through it with his gun, creates a smokescreen, and beats the panda senseless with the disadvantage of a smaller body, including a well-placed kick to the groin, and blowing up the panda's bomb mid-air with a single shot. The smoke clears. The mean girls look up. Ogami is standing there like a hero. He immediately acts like a scared, confused bystander, tells them a mysterious stranger did it. Retreats. The girls are suspicious, but they let it go, and later, they invite him into the class group chat. Ogami joins, instantly regrets it, 1,000 messages flood in. His old man brain cannot keep up. One day, Ogami notices a girl in the back row. Norin Mitsuoka? Cool athletic. Brilliant English. Daughter of a pharma tycoon. Every boy in school is obsessed with her. Every girl respects her from a distance. Her expression says, "Leave me alone or suffer." Eri calls in, Norin may have intel tied to the mission. Make contact. Ogami approaches her the next day. She annihilates him with a single look and tells him to disappear. Ogami retreats, sits alone in the hallway, feels genuinely wounded, which is new. He's survived shootouts without feeling this bad. Takada and Baba explain. Norin has been fending off creeps since she was old enough to be called pretty. She's built walls. Even the girls can't get past them. Ogami decides it's a dead end. He goes to find a new ramen shop instead. He walks in. A cheerful waitress tells him to take a seat. It's Norin, wearing an apron, smiling at a customer. They lock eyes. Silence. Ogami sits, orders, eats. The ramen is perfect. Broth, noodles, toppings, all of it. He's floored. Norin appears at his table. Meet me out back. Outside, Norin begs him not to tell anyone she works here. Middle schoolers aren't supposed to have jobs. Ogami agrees to keep the secret. Walking home, Norin opens up. The shop belongs to her uncle, the one person in her family who actually gets her. The rich family wants to marry her off to a suitable man. Men of all ages have called her beautiful since she was small. It makes her sick, so she's going to fight it. Build her own ramen shop, make her own money, live on her own terms. Ogami listens without saying much. He can see exactly who she is. A girl trying to escape a fate she didn't choose. They go their separate ways. Then tires screech. A black van takes Norin. Fast, clean, professional. The plates are fake. Kotatsu loses the trail almost immediately. Ogami climbs a signal tower, bare hands, full speed, teenage body, and spots the van at a stoplight. He fires a tracking device from his gun and hits the car dead on from 3 blocks away. Some instincts don't age. He follows the signal. Inside a dingy building, Norin is surrounded by men demanding she reveal a secret drug her father's company is developing. She genuinely doesn't know anything. The man in charge threatens her uncle's ramen shop. Ogami comes through the window. He shoots the man mid-speech, mostly because of the ramen comment, then covers Norin's head with his school bag so she can't see his face, and takes on an entire building's worth of criminals using rubber bullets and a trolley. They escape. The head villain tries to run them down. Ogami flips the car with construction gear. He puts Norin to sleep with a sedative device, carries her home, leaves quietly. He forgot his social studies textbook in the building. The studying high crashes hard when maths gets complicated. Ogami falls behind for the first time. He won't ask his ex-wife. She's busy. Won't ask the teacher. The man is technically younger than him. He just suffers silently in the library. Then Ryo Shiraishi sits down across from him. Ryo is kind, perceptive, and genuinely talented. He diagnoses Ogami's problem. Foundational gaps from when Ogami was too busy being trained as a killer to learn basic arithmetic, and offers to help. They study together for days. Ogami goes home and continues through the night. Quiz day. Perfect score. Ogami shows Ryo his paper and immediately starts crying. Ryo is concerned, but touched. To celebrate, Ogami takes Ryo to a diner. A rude man spills coffee on his laptop, blames the kids, and launches into a lecture about how Ryo's dream of becoming a doctor is a waste of time. Ryo is quiet. Ogami is quieter, but visibly restraining himself. Then the man mocks Ogami for struggling with middle school math. Ryo stands up and shuts him down, calmly, clearly, and in front of everyone in the diner. The man flees. Ryo apologizes to Ogami for losing his temper. Ogami tells him he has nothing to apologize for. On the walk home, the same man reappears on a bicycle, clearly planning to run them into the river. Ogami casually threads a compass into the bike's wheel without breaking stride. The bike launches. The man lands in the river with his laptop. Ryo notices nothing. Ogami says nothing. They walk home. Ryo explains why he wants to be a doctor. His mother died of an illness. His grandmother raised him and his sister, but she's getting weaker now. He wants to make sure no one has to go through what his family did. Ogami, legendary assassin and dead-eyed professional, starts crying again. He is slowly realizing that teenagers are not, in fact, the enemy. School club fair. Ogami wants nothing to do with sports. A baseball flies toward him, and he instinctively turns it into a projectile that nearly decapitates someone. That settles that. He's about to wander off when Ryo's sister Chisato Shiraishi, president of the Home Economics Club, catches Ogami's skeptical expression and drags him into a trial session. Cooking, cleaning, rice balls, miso soup. Ogami is deeply uncomfortable. Chisato challenges him. If she loses, she'll look after him for 6 months. If he loses, he joins the club. Ogami makes a decent rice ball. Decent miso soup. Shrugs and calls it a draw. Feels nothing. On the walk home, Kotatsu calls him a hypocrite. He clearly liked his own cooking. That night, Eri calls to thank him for the food he dropped off. His daughter Kazuyi says it was good, just a little salty. Ogami remembers what Chisato told him on his way out. Cooking is better when you make it for someone else. He stares at the ceiling for a long time. The next day, he joins the Home Economics Club. Against his will, voluntarily, Norin joins too to learn skills for the ramen shop. She tells Ogami to stop talking to her in front of others. Ogami accepts this. Then Kotatsu drops the news. Eri found a lead on restoring Ogami's original body. The method? Marry Norin. Specifically, the Mitsuoka Pharmaceutical Company has announced that whoever marries the president's daughter becomes heir to the company and gains access to all its research, including, presumably, the de-aging compound. Suddenly, every young assassin and undercover agent in the country has enrolled in middle school. Ogami stares at the wall. He is a divorced man approaching 40, trapped in the body of a 13-year-old, being told to court a middle school girl. He is not okay. Before he can process any of it, Norin corners Ogami in the hallway and announces to the entire school that he's her boyfriend. A mob of furious boys forms instantly. Ogami and Norin sprint for their lives and hide behind a vending machine. I panicked, Norin admits. You were just there. She begs him to keep up the act, just until the admirers back off. He reluctantly agrees. That same day, a group of boys beats him up in a stairwell. Ogami breaks free, walks to the edge of the roof, and jumps off, landing cleanly in the courtyard 3 floors below, then walks away while the boys stare in horror from the roof. Takada warns him it's only gonna get worse. There's a group at the school called the Unicorns, powerful, well-connected students, all competing for Norin. Ogami goes home and stares at the ceiling again. Baby Shin Koizeme transfers in the next day. Every girl in class loses their mind. He's impossibly handsome. He sits next to Norin, says nothing, and passes her a crumpled note, confessing his love and asking to meet her in the courtyard. Norin is not impressed. The note looks like it was written by someone who gave up halfway through. Later outside, Shin appears, but his voice is different, confident, smooth. Then Norin sees the pacifier in his mouth. Shin explains, without embarrassment, that he has severe social anxiety and the pacifier helps him function like a normal person. Without it, he's useless. Norin punches him. Shin stands back up and falls even more in love because apparently that's how he works. Then he turns to Ogami and tells him the rules of this game Norin's father has established. Any contender can challenge her current companion to a duel. Whoever holds the fountain pen wins. Norin already gave the pen to Ogami without either of them knowing what it meant. The duel, Shin has 1 hour to stick a pacifier in Ogami's mouth. Ogami accepts. The school goes insane. The chase runs through classrooms, storage rooms, and the entire school building. Shin is fast, teleporting fast, but Ogami keeps slipping away. During the battle, Shin asks Ogami if he even has feelings for Norin. Ogami is honest with himself. If no one else, he doesn't love her. But she reminds him of his daughter. He'll protect her the same way. Time runs out, Ogami wins, Shin collapses dramatically. Ogami looks down at him, gets stronger. Midterms arrive. Club activities suspended. Students begin their ritual suffering. Everyone copes differently. Ryo studies calmly. Takata panics. Norin glows for once. No one is asking her out because every boy is too stressed to function. Ogami looks like a raisin. He's been awake for days. He can't stop studying. He knows he should rest. He can't. Kotatsu notices, but Ogami shuts him down. Later, Kotatsu sends him to Mama Nagisa's, a cross-dressing man who runs a quiet bar where Ogami has been coming for years. Mama knows everything, judges nothing. Eri is there too. She laughs when she hears Ogami is stressed about a school exam. Ogami is annoyed. She tells him to let himself fail. He's a middle schooler now. Failing doesn't cost him anything. And she's noticed something she doesn't quite say out loud. Since the transformation, he's been more alive than she's seen him in years. He doesn't respond. He goes home and sleeps. He passes the midterms. The home economics club gets an assignment. Deliver rice balls to the basketball team. Easy enough, except one of the players is Tenma Tendo, a giant, impossibly athletic member of the Unicorns who towers over everyone and appears to run on sheer physical arrogance. He doesn't challenge Ogami over Norin. He challenges him because Ogami is a background character, and Tenma cannot tolerate background characters existing near him. He also casually dismisses the home economics club as a little pretend activity. That's when Ogami gets angry. Not over the boyfriend drama. Over the disrespect toward Chisato's club. He accepts. Futsal match in the school gym. The match is brutal. Tenma is on a different physical level than any middle schooler should be. He's training for 3 sports simultaneously to become a triple threat legend, and he plays like it. Shin loses his pacifier mid-game to one of Tenma's kicks and becomes entirely useless, reverting to a whimpering mess in the goal area. Norin sprints to retrieve his spare. Shin gets hit in the face by 4 balls in a row while trying to be useful. The pacifier arrives. Shin's confidence snaps back. The crowd erupts. With the team back at full strength, Ogami goes one-on-one with Tenma in the final stretch. And something shifts in him. He hasn't been in a genuine physical challenge since before the transformation. He'd forgotten what it felt like, the thrill of pushing against someone who can actually push back. He thanks Tenma, mid-match, sincerely. Tenma doesn't score the final goal, neither does Ogami, but the home economics club walks out with their heads high, and Tenma, for the first time, looks at someone like they might actually be worth his time. A bizarre double date, Ogami, Norin, Chisato, and Tenma. Chisato agreed to one date to get Tenma to stop confessing every hour. At the movie, Ogami suddenly collapses and wakes up as a middle-aged man again. He bolts to the bathroom, stares at his real face in the mirror. He's a chaperone. That's what he's been this whole time, a chaperone in a schoolboy's body. He almost leaves. Then he hears Chisato scream, "Norin's been taken!" Again, Ogami's body has already snapped back to teenage form by the time he runs out. He and Tenma give chase, an empty stadium. 2 young assassins from an organization called Jardan Kazuma Rindu 15 and his silent brother Eiji Rindu 13. Their mission, hypnotize Norin, make her fall in love with Eiji. Use her family connection to unlock the pharmaceutical secret. Kazuma is composed, brilliant, and ruthless. Eiji fires explosive golf balls like a machine. The fight across the stadium is exhaustive. Bombs, firefighters, hypnotized civilians used as human weapons, Kazuma in a disguise, Ogami engineering a trap mid-battle by planting bombs on stretchers and banking bullets off them. Tenma takes on Eiji alone and ends the fight with a football kick so precise and powerful that Eiji can't stop it with his bare hands. Both brothers are down. Then Kazuma, bruised and broken, falls to his knees. He begs them to spare Eiji's life. In their world, failure means death. He'll accept his fate, but not his brother's. He explains Eiji wasn't always like this. They were normal kids once. Something happened. He doesn't finish the sentence. Ogami and Tenma have no interest in executing children. They let the brothers go. Then Kazuma reveals, almost casually, Norin was already hypnotized. She'll fall in love with the first person she sees. Ogami sprints. He's too late. Norin opens her eyes. She sees Ogami. She immediately, intensely, devotedly falls in love with him. Ogami karate chops her unconscious. Norin returns to school, hypnotized and obsessed with Ogami, who spends every day avoiding her, hiding behind lockers, and at one point leaving a teddy bear with a wig on his chair as a decoy. Eventually, Kazuma agrees to meet them at an amusement park to undo the hypnosis. Ogami has no choice but to take Norin on a real date first. Cup Ramen Museum. She lectures him for 10 minutes after he calls it cheap. A Ferris wheel, Ogami engineers, a wobble so dramatic that Norin can't tell it was intentional. And finally, the park. Kazuma undoes the hypnosis with a click of his lighter. Norin falls asleep, wakes up, remembers nothing. The sun sets. The mission continues. Ogami heads home lighter than he's felt in a long time. Not because anything is resolved, but because somewhere between math quizzes, ramen, a panda pervert, 2 child assassins, and a futsal match, he didn't need to win. Something in him quietly came back to life. He's still an old man pretending to be a kid, but for the first time in years, he doesn't find it boring.